Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we have another interesting video. Basically I'm gonna be doing my eyebrows while I tell you guys some interesting college stories. Yeah, I just thought, perfect time to do it would be while I'm doing my eyebrows. So I think I'm gonna wax them, or at least try to, and then maybe tweeze them a little bit too. And then I did get these from Rite Aid, I think. And then this is what the little wax strip looks like. And then I have a little wipe here for removing the wax residue. I have some ice here because I cannot handle the plucking. The waxing is not bad. The plucking over and over and over again is what I think, just in general, like working on one part of the skin for a long part of time is like really irritating. So before we start talking, first things first, I'm just gonna clean the area because I did do my skincare earlier today and there's probably, some moisturizer left over and stuff. So I'm just gonna use the hypochlorous acid. I think this is not the original Tower 28. I got, oh, actually, this is so funny. Look at how big. Look at how big this is. I got this to refill this and everything else that I have. So I'm just gonna spray the area and then use a little thing. But I think first things first, you're supposed to heat this up. So let me figure out what I'm gonna tell you about first. Okay, I feel like it'd be really funny or interesting to tell you guys about the one time that I went on a date and I didn't know it was a date. Oh my god, I feel so weird like telling the internet these things, but I think they're just funny and cute little stories, and I don't know, maybe you can learn from them. But basically I had a class with this guy, and I had a class with him before, but we didn't talk to each other. And so I went up to him and I was like, oh, didn't we have this class last semester or whatever it was? And he was like, oh yeah, what did you think of the class? So we started talking about that, would talk to him after class and stuff. And then like we exchanged numbers. Let's just call him Steve. He and I had each other's phone numbers at some point. Obviously I thought he was cute at that point, didn't know what he thought about me. I'm so bad at remembering the details. I'm not the best story time teller, but basically we talked about hanging out in person, not even on a day that we had class, like after class or something like that, on another day of the week, just like meeting up in person. So we were gonna meet at a kind of restaurant, like on campus type of a thing. And I always do work in that specific area anyways, or I always did. Alumni. And so I was like, yeah, sounds good. And then I was just waiting for him, but I'm doing work at the same time. I don't need to leave. Like, I'm just like, I'm camped out there. Like, I have my laptop out. I'm getting some work done. Basically, he was late, but he was keeping me up to date with the fact that he was late too. So I was like, okay, this isn't horrible or anything like that. Pull apart these wax pieces now and then try and place them. He was late, but he was texting me like updates about what was going on. He's like, I'm so sorry, my roommates are being so dumb right now. I don't know. And then he ended up asking me if I wanted to do something else that day, and I said no. And so I finished my study, like went back to my dorm, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. Maybe he's trying to ghost me, whatever. Then he reaches out literally like I think the same day, if not like a day or two later. Hey, do you want to go do something this weekend? Okay, so he wasn't ghosting me. I don't remember entirely why I said no, but I think part of it is like when you're living on campus and you don't have a car. I don't think I had a car at this point. To agree to go somewhere that you have to drive to with whatever, you're gonna be far away from like where you live or you are. It's a lot because I have some introverted tendencies. I would say I'm an ambivert. So yeah, basically I said no to that. And then at some point, but the third time, I think I might have been like, okay, so like, let's just, you know what, let's just do something super simple. Like, let's just go hang out somewhere on campus and just talk with each other to like get to know each other. Because the thing is that when I say I like somebody, it's more or less just that I'm interested in them and I want to get to know them. I don't really get a crush on somebody unless I actually have talked to them enough to get to know them. But so basically I was like, okay, let's go do something chill somewhere on campus or whatever. And he was like, okay. So then he proceeds, mind you, I'm saying like I didn't know this was a date when I was trying to like hang out with him, which other people consider like going on a date sometimes. That's the thing. It's different with everybody you talk to, but oof, yeah, I don't think that really did anything. But mind you, I at this point am thinking like, oh, okay, it has not worked out the past couple times. Like we're just two classmates like trying to get together to like chit chat with each other at this point. I'm just gonna clean them up with a little bit more hypochlorous acid. I like to fill in my brows the way I normally do and then see what I want to get rid of. My brow bone is already getting like red and irritated. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up some brow product and just do my brows real quick. Oh, where was I? Also, I am not a professional. I'm not an esthetician. Some people might say like it's not good to do this with makeup on your face. This is just what works for me so far in my life. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on my eyebrows, so I thought, you know what, it's fine. Okay, now they're pretty clear. Like I would wear them like this, but I would probably like not like all the little sparseness right here. So I'm gonna go in with an ice cube. And then I'm just gonna go in and try and pluck them. Oh yeah, so I meet up with him after class and he says, wait a minute, before I leave school, I want to try all the restaurants here. And I was like, all right, bet, because we were gonna eat on campus and on campus food was not very good, but he was like, yeah, I want to like go to a new restaurant. And I was like, okay. Now this is where I should have known that this was a date, but I did not even think about it or realize it until I told my friends what had happened and they started pointing this out. He then proceeds to say, oh, I know this really good food place, we should go there. I didn't even connect the fact that he had literally just said, so we didn't have to eat on campus, that he wanted to try all the restaurants downtown and he had a bucket list of restaurants he wanted to try, and then proceeded to pick one that he has already been to. I didn't even process what was happening. I was just like, okay, cool, like that's great. It wasn't like my favorite type of food, but I was like, okay, let's go. And so we go there. I remember I tripped on the walkway going in to the restaurant and I was like, oops, how embarrassing. And then we get in, we sit and we're talking, but basically the only thing we could talk about was like kind of about our lives and our childhood, but more in like friend way, I felt. Or like almost like because we're two college students asking each other questions, like we're in a class getting to know each other for a group project or something. And so I just like was not feeling any sort of like romantic vibing from it. And I think he could tell, but I'm not entirely sure, just because we kind of stayed on the same topic the whole entire time. I feel like normally you go around to a bunch of different topics, like especially when you're going on a date with somebody or getting to know them, like you want to know all the different things about them. Yeah, and then we get to the next moment that I should have known it was a date, which was basically when we went to check out and I pulled out my credit card to pay for my food and he was like, nope, I got it. And I still didn't know it was a date at that point. We never talked about whether or not it was a date, because basically what happened was he walked me half of the way home and then I was like, oh, where do you live? And then when we got to that area, like just chit-chatting, but I was like, yeah, like he's cool to be friends with, but not. Basically the crush that I had on him died in the moment. I was like, oh yeah, like he'd be a really cool person to be friends with. And then he and I proceeded to somewhat be a little bit normal, but like we did not keep in touch after that class or anything like that. But he was really nice, really sweet, really cute, really just like he had everything. It just like was not there. And if it's not there, like you can try and make it happen, but it's just not going to be there. Even if it wasn't like a technical dating story, and that's the thing is like a lot of college dating in general is let's hang out with each other or stuff like that. That's like how a lot of dating is in college, or like a lot of okay, my friend's hosting a party and their friend is gonna be there, or at least that's what I experienced, because I feel like we're all really busy and we just don't have the time to talk to each other like that. And a lot of classes are not, you don't have like as much time to like interact with your classmates and stuff like that to get to know people that way. So you're mostly meeting people through a friend of a friend or through some sort of a club or something that you're in. I feel like also there's two types of people when it comes to like dating in college. There's the people that are either looking for something that's like not super intense, or like that's one party, so they're like looking for something more like laid back, casual. Or you have the group of people that is like either not dating at all because they're super focused on their work. That's like a third group, I guess you could say. But the other main group is people who are like in long-term committed relationships, or are about to be if they aren't already. I also feel like I've been seeing a lot of people talking about in general in Gen Z, our generation just doesn't really date a lot, which I kind of agree with as well. We're not really going out to do the typical things like going out to the bars and like going places where we're going to be meeting people either, which is super valid, and I do think it's very true. I'm just gonna go on ahead and wipe off any like excess hairs or makeup now with my cotton round. This is like a reusable one, by the way. And then I'm gonna use this finishing wax residue wipe to remove any of the wax. Also, in my personal experience, obviously, I do see there's a lot of push and pull between the guys and the girls about traditional dating roles, I guess you could say. And I think that that can make dating hard too. I think a lot of girls want guys to make the first move, but I've been seeing a lot of content and like hearing from some other people that actually it's the other way around nowadays, and like guys would like the girls to make the first move because it's a certain kind of commitment to the relationship to even like let the other person know that you're interested in them at all. But yeah, so basically there's a lot of girls waiting around for a guy to make the first move, and then there's a lot of guys waiting around for the girl to make the first move, and or just a lot of guys who like are scared to make the first move because they are normally like traditionally supposed to be the ones that are more direct about it. And it's just like it's super scary. Like even if I put myself in that situation, it is scary to be the one who's being direct about it. And that's what I'm saying is like I've had to be there before because of this like generation, the way that it is, like be the one to put yourself out there and be like, hey. And I think it stops a lot of people from who are like actually interested in each other from saying or doing anything because they're just so afraid of rejection. I'm just cleaning it up with some water now. Really intimidating to put yourself out there, and guys are more expected to do that now. So, and if a girl's version of like putting themselves out there is they don't have to put themselves out there as far as a guy in this like more societal, like a custom way to doing it, I guess you could say nowadays. So I don't know if I'm explaining this right. I'm not trying to offend anyone, and I'm really trying to be careful about the way I'm saying it, but because I don't know how to explain it, but I do think that there's just like a little bit of friction there. Basically, a guy doesn't want to make the move that he's supposed to make until he knows for sure that a girl likes him, but it's hard to even get to that point nowadays because people in general are also scared of like rejection, that I think they're not honest with each other and like sharing their feelings and being straight up with each other, or making it as obvious, like they're trying to be really chill and nonchalant, and then you can kind of like make the other person confused because like they like you, you might like them, but they need like, and you might be like, you know, texting them a lot or talking to them like a lot or whatever, but they still are not 100% sure on it. So I think that's where a lot of the issues lie nowadays, which is why I truly think that more people are being set up through friends and stuff like that, and why I think that like that's the way dating culture is going, because that is happening even in like online relationships. But if you're set up through a friend, like privately to the friend, you can be like, oh, what are they like, and like talk to them and get to know them and be like, well, have they said anything about me or whatever, and then you can get like set up with that person through a friend who like knows that you guys would be a good match for each other, and who knows that like from the get-go both of you are at least somewhat interested in each other. So I think that's kind of the route that Gen Z dating is going down, to be honest, which is interesting. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My eyebrows are now like pretty good. I don't love the shape, like I might have a little bit more trimming to do and stuff, but this is the best I can do for right now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want more videos like this, let me know. I think I am gonna do more videos just like chit-chatting and talking about things like this, because I think it's very interesting and everybody has different perspectives and different experiences too. Like this is literally just my experience and I'm one person, so you know everyone else is gonna have different experiences wherever they are. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.